Rügen, Germany's largest island, hanging out in the Baltic Sea, practically flirting with Scandinavia. It's here you'll find the UNESCO heritage Jasmund National Park, with its famous Kreidefelsen, or chalk cliffs, cut along the edge of the island like a perfect slice of cake. It's also where you'll find me, running around the trails in the lead up to the Berlin Marathon, which, confusingly, has already happened by the time this publishes. Whatever, time is a myth, but do go watch that video afterwards. So let's hit the trails, have a slice of Apfelkuchen, and kick back with a well-deserved tall one. Good morning, or now getting into the noon hour. You can tell I'm out here on Rügen. We're up here in Sassnitz by Jasmund National Park, and kind of a place I've been wanting to get to for a while. And with this Deutschland ticket, where you spend 49 euros a month and you've got unlimited transit locally and on regional trains, so just not the high-speed trains, decided to take it up here to Sassnitz, right at the foot of the national park that's known for its chalky cliff sides. If you're familiar with like the cliffs of Dover, I think maybe this is like the German equivalent, or perhaps the Dover is the English equivalent of the German variety. And going to be out here for total a few days, 2 full days, and going for a run right now, just doing a little over an hour, what they call in the old program a steady state run, which sounds like a politician who keeps running for office and continually fails. But no, this is basically a little warm-up and then running at a steady pace, not too fast, not too slow, for a period of time, and then a little recovery, go at it again, and then a recovery to finish. So I'm going to be doing that, going over to, I think it's called the Piratenschlucht, where you can see the cliffs a little bit, and we'll be circling back and finishing today's run. And then tomorrow I've got a long 2-hour 45-minute run where I'm going to basically be running around the entire park. So we're all warmed up, the sun's come out, it's feeling a little bit warm. I guess I should start running. The reason we wanted to stay in Sassnitz is because it pretty much runs up against the national park. Sure enough, there we have it. Well, that was it. I paused my workout to kind of head down here and see the cliffs, and as advertised, chalky and white. But I imagine I'll see more of it tomorrow when I go up to Königsstuhl. For now, time to get back up to the top and continue the workout so that I can get to lunch faster. Always thinking about the next meal. Camera's probably a bit deceiving. This is all uphill. No idea how I'm gonna stay in zone 2 tomorrow. Now I'm finally cutting away from the coast to start the loop back into town. So will probably be enticed less often to stop and take pretty pictures. So there's only actually a handful of official trails in the park, but what I found to be pretty consistent around Germany and Central Europe is that there are a lot of old roads and service roads and paths that you can cut through to make more of an official loop. That's my watch buzzing. Time for the next set. Grand. I love when you're running in the forest in the sun. It's just got like a handful of rays every so often cutting through the trees. Makes the run feel more cinematic. Like I've got Paul Greengrass or something directing my run. Kind of a toasty way to finish up the run. Unceremoniously dumped out of the forest into the bright sunshine. No tree cover. Thankfully we're damn near in Scandinavia up here, so toasty is very much a relative concept here. So you can see a lot of the signs say "Zur Kreidefelsen." Basically, they do little tours to those white cliffs, but on the water. It very much has Gilligan's Island potential, that's for sure. Aber auf Deutsch. And with that timely reference, I finish up with some Apfelkuchen at the aptly named beach house before grabbing my camera and taking a tour around the Sassnitz Harbor and Old Town. I'm getting New Orleans vibes with some of these buildings, but it's actually known here as Badearchitektur, or resort architecture dating back to the late 19th century. There, you've learned something. Now give me my beer. Not nearly as cloudy of a morning, as in there are no clouds, just bright sunshine. But for today's 2-hour and 45-minute run, going straight into the national park, and should basically be hanging in there the whole time, so hopefully avoiding the sun for the most part until the very end. And we're back into Nationalpark Jasmund. Loving this trail. Nice smooth dirt trail, bit wavy. Could run on this stuff until the end of time. And there goes my watch again. Right now I'm forcing myself to hike up this incline because as much as I want to run it, I am supposed to be taking it easy in a lower heart rate. And something about this training that's been a bit humbling is it can be a bit competitive within reason, within my skill set. So if I see a hill and I can see the top, I'm like, I'm gonna charge up that fucker. I don't know why I turned into kind of a redneck, but I guess I do. That's my competitive spirit. It's been an adjustment to realize that in the long run, you need to take these runs easy, do the time, do the distance, and that'll help me on race day. So the first goal of sorts for this run is to get up to Königsstuhl, the King's Stool. which, considering the other meaning of stool, it's kind of a strange name. I imagine that's something the peasants had to deal with. Any oozles. First goal is to get up to Königsstuhl, where allegedly some of the best views of the Kreidefelsen are. And then we go west, northwest, west, south to finish up our loop. But Königsstuhl is only like 8 to 9 kilometers in, so we got a lot to go after that. So this has been a little unexpected. I didn't realize there'd be various stair systems, but I didn't know we'd be going up and down, so I guess it makes sense. So as you can see here, the sign says Abbruch Gefahr betreten verboten, which roughly translated means stay the fuck off this area, you could die. So here's the thing about me. I don't love heights. So when you see these like scenic views that I'm shooting, like so, just know that on the other side of the camera, I'm like this. The things I choose to edit in, when I very easily could just leave it out. Anyways. Banana break. Didn't have enough of the old jelly stuff, so brought a banana for the carbs. And those carbs take me to the legendary Königsstuhl. Or rather, I end up at Victoriasicht, where you can see the king's chair from a distance. Visiting Königsstuhl up close and personal is kostenpflichtig. You got to pay. So I settled for essentially the same view down the coast. There are several explanations for the name, none of which can seemingly be proven. My favorite is the legend that whoever climbed the chalk cliffs first was crowned king. I guess that's one way of finding out who's willing to cling to power until they topple and die. So it took me about 1 hour 6 to get to Königsstuhl, and that was only like between 8 and 9 kilometers in. The route I had planned is 27 kilometers, so definitely gonna have to make some adjustments to stay within 2 hours 45 minutes. But I think I have something in mind. So I'm on this trail on the outer edge of the park, so away from the water. It's much more paved, kind of like that mixed gravel paved trail mixed with dirt, and it's definitely more flowy, kind of wavy. You got a little bit of that in the park itself, or this is all the park in the forest, but a lot more roots, a little bit more technical. This is easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. I'm sure that's what they intended by the ad. Just found a little shortcut to cut off some of my planned route. And now it looks like we've only got a couple more kilometers back into Sassnitz. And that should get me pretty close to 2 hours 45 minutes. Might have to meander around a bit in the harbor like yesterday, but could be worse. It's been a lovely run through Jasmund National Park. Glad we made this little excursion up here thanks to the Deutschland ticket. By the way, could you imagine this place in the fall? Talk about some leaf peeping. Oh God.
And we're back out of the forest, out here for that sunny finish, just like yesterday. I'll spare you too much B-roll of the finish because it's truthfully not that remarkable, but it is also strange to say like, oh, almost at the finish, and then the next cut to be like, and we're finished. So, a little filler. Bear with me.
With the run behind me, it's time to refuel and relax for my final hours on Rügen, a place where you can breathe in the sea air, watch the sky change from bright blue to hues of purple and orange, and kick back in a strandkorb as your wife patiently films you in exchange for a foot massage. Ain't that the dream, folks?